Angie, do you have something that's pressing that we need to deal with today?
No, that was, oh,
Angie has two items that we need to address today, that she feels that we can't put off till January.
It's just to open two bill files.
So you update the,
I'll do it really quick. Okay.
thank you.
Yes, I'll hustle. All right, thank you. So if you go to agenda item 20.1, you'll see the very first document is a summary of, apparently I cannot log in. I'll just hurry and state them. If you can see them there, there's one about military, children of military active duty members, and another one about student residency provisions. So Jeff, do you want to talk about the first one?
Sure. So the students of military members, this is a request made by the State Council on Military Children. The issue this is addressing is currently charter schools. They have in statute what they may put in as preferences for their lottery, and military people who are being transferred to the state outside of the regular school year cycle are not getting their kids into the charter schools that they would like because they're outside of the cycle. So this would be a request to add to the list of preferences that charter schools may consider the children of military, or yes, the children of military members have been transferred, so that they can put that on the list of things for their lotteries to consider for preferences.
Okay, hang on
Correct.
one sec. George Member.
It's a may, not a shall.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is to add to the list that they may.
Yep. Do you want me to read the second one quickly?
Let's just do one at a time real quick. So, board member, hold it.
I just make that motion.
Okay, well, I need a motion. Board member Lear.
I move that we make it so that charter schools can add as a preference military families to their preferences.
So the motion would be to add to that may list military.
Families.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion to the motion, board member Reeby.
I think it should be a shall. I think that our military families are doing the most they can for our country. They are not able to say they won't go someplace. They're not able to say they can't go someplace. They have to go, and I think that they should be given some priority, and they should be made. There should be made some concessions. I think it should be a more aggressive way for them to be able to attend the choice schools that they want. I mean, they are giving up the ultimate price for us, and so if they happen to come someplace, I mean, if they don't get into a charter school, they come to a neighborhood school, and we don't get to say may. We take them because we have to. We expand our schools. So I don't think that this should be a shall. I think it should be a may, and they should get their choices.
Not a may, a shall.
I mean shall, sorry. Listen to what I mean, not what I say.
Board member Lear.
And I would amend my motion to say that, now that I think about it. Military families have all kinds of adjustments for residency, for the age that they start school, for a number of other things in all public schools in Utah. And I think this would be an appropriate choice to give these very important
Okay.
citizens. So I would amend my motion.
Before I start that amendment, I think you want to weigh in on this.
I just wanted to mention that currently in statute, there are a number of preferences that a charter school may allow, but they are all in the may form. Right now in statute, there are no preferences that are required, so this would be out of the norm.
Okay, and I just might weigh in really fast too, that I work closely with the military on a lot of different issues as a mediator on a few other things. When you do shall on military, it can be a lot bigger than you think. So it sounds like a really great thing in the beginning, but you got to push that water clear to the end of the road. So I would be against this. I would speak against this amendment until we do that due diligence. Board member Brittany Cummins.
And I would, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but we might be talking about two different things, because when this particular thing only refers to the lottery that a charter school is doing, which is one time of the year, which is different than a military family moving in mid-year and you take them, because charter schools can take people, but this is just charter schools can enroll students all year long. if they have openings, right? But this only has to do with their lottery system and allowing for preferences during that lottery time.
Okay. Board Member Reby?
I'm sorry to
Okay. Board Member Stokes?
So my question is, since this came from the military affairs folks, I'm assuming, were they okay with May, or?
This was their recommendation.
Their recommendation was
So,
May.
Yeah.
Okay.
They probably didn't think we could get
So I think,
shall.
I think with that and some of the gesture here, so we're not going to go with the amendment.
No,
So-
that's, yeah, if that's what they
So-
want, that's what they're asking
so-
for, that's fine with me.
So what's the motion again? The motion is that,
That you support
I got
staff
the may.
working with the legislator on a bill
to include
To include-
military on the May
As a
portion of
May
the
for
list.
preference.
preferences.
Okay, and it's,
On a lottery.
okay, let's vote on that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Voting was unanimous. Okay, the next issue?
And then the second one is something that Board Member Lair, you've mentioned a couple of times when I've talked about this, which is there's a provision in our district of residency provisions and statute that deal with custody and under the supervision of a state agency. And when a student moves outside of their district of residence, meaning where their parents live, whether they can then receive services at the second district. And we've received some feedback from LEAs, certain districts, that it would be helpful to change the phrase under the supervision of to under the jurisdiction of in subsection 53G63022, as well as potentially other related issues to that language.
Okay, Board Member Lear?
And I do support that. I think it gives LEAs clearer direction about serving these very important children, and it doesn't create uncertainty among who's responsible for the children.
Okay.
It does away with some of that uncertainty.
Angie, what would be a good recommendation of a motion to do this?
So the motion could be to direct staff, or to support staff in working with the legislator on a bill file to amend student residency provisions in subsection 53G6302 to change the phrase under the supervision of to under the jurisdiction of.
Okay, so, well, Carol, you started
So
that.
moved.
So moved, we have a second? We have a second. Any further discussion? Board Member Reby?
So when we change this language, does it cause us, so say student A is in one district and they move to another district and they fall under this jurisdiction of it, are they now a special permit that they can have their special permit denied, causing them further turmoil because now they have to move to the jurisdiction of their?
No.
Okay, I just want to clarify that.
No.
So, no. So what this is a student moves to District B. So their parents live in District A. They move to District B to go to a residential treatment center or some sort of a special facility.
Okay.
And the question is, if the student is in the care of the state, meaning a ward of the state or in the care of the state, clearly that district has to take care of. The question is, what does under the supervision of mean? Does it mean purely providing money, or is it really something more, which people believe under the jurisdiction of would give a little bit more clarity versus just providing money? So there's other issues related to this, and the bill may not end up being as simple as just the phraseology changes. There are some other issues related to plans that districts work out with the residential treatment center on the educational services provided to these students that may come up. I kind of put that in the backup document of the legislative request form. But until we get into drafting the bill or somebody starts working on the bill, I don't know if there'll be more than just this. Did that answer your question?
Well,
Probably
part of
not.
it, but so say you live on the border of two different districts, and you have moved from your home family into foster care. So now that you're in the jurisdiction of one school, but it's really important that you stay in the school that you went to because you really don't want to disrupt this child's life anymore. So I can understand going to a residential program, but if you're going to a foster care situation or some other kind of situation, you want your that child to stay in a stable environment, stay at that school. So that's my concern with
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
And this would actually not it would not affect kids who are in foster
Foster
care because
care.
they're under care or in the custody of, the
Yeah.
language in the statute says in the custody of the state. This is for students who are their parents still have custody.
Thank you.
They wanna send them someplace.
But they're receiving services from the state or they're under the jurisdiction of the state.
Board Member Laird, did you?
No, well, I just wanted to clarify, this is students that are usually being sent to another district by their parents, and their parents' district should really retain responsibility and work with the receiving district, instead of this uncertainty under the supervision of.
Board Member Belknap?
Is this going to change anything as far as Utah high school athletics? I don't know if it does.
Severely disabled kids.
Not necessarily. They could be emotionally.
I've never, in all of my situations of dealing with.
Okay.
I just think that's something we need to be cautious of because they could move them for
It probably needs to be more specific on that. So we have the motion, we have a second. I'm not seeing any further discussion, so let's vote, and I'm not going to repeat it. And I'm not going to ask Lorraine to repeat it from what she just spent all that time typing on. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Motion passed. Okay. All right. That's the heavy lifting we had to get done, right? We're almost done.